There's a psychological technique so brutal that warrior monks kept it hidden for centuries. They knew that once you understand how to make your mind unshakable, you can never go back to being weak. And weakness is comfortable. It lets you blame the world for your chaos. But these warriors discovered that your anxiety, your stress, your inability to stay calm when everything falls apart, none of it is caused by what's happening around you. The enemy was never out there, it was always inside. Every morning they would sit in darkness and watch their own mind attack itself. Fear, rage, doubt all rising like a storm, and they wouldn't move, because they understood what modern neuroscience is only now proving: you are not your thoughts. You are the space where thoughts happen. Imagine standing in the center of a hurricane. The winds scream, but where you stand there's perfect stillness. That's the immovable mind. So how can you use these same techniques to stop being shaken by life? Subscribe now, because what you're about to learn, you were never supposed to know. Centuries ago, hidden in the cold stone monasteries of feudal Japan, warrior monks discovered a secret practiced in absolute silence, passed down only to those willing to die for inner mastery. They called it fudoshin, the immovable mind. What they understood about human psychology was so profound, so dangerous to the comfort of ordinary life, that it was never meant for the masses. But you're here now. And once you grasp what made these warriors unshakable, even in the face of death, you will never see your own mind the same way again. He would observe every fear that arose, every desire that whispered, every weakness that begged for his attention, and he would not move. Not a single muscle. He understood a psychological truth that modern neuroscience is only now beginning to confirm. You are not your thoughts. You are the space in which thoughts occur. Just breathe, just remain. In that crucible of discomfort, something extraordinary happens. Your false self begins to die. All the identities you've built, all the stories you've told yourself, all the masks you wear, they start to crack. When the mind is completely still, when there is no thought interfering, the body moves with perfect precision. Decisions are made without thinking, actions flow without effort. This ancient wisdom shows us that within each of us lies the capacity for this immovable mind. It's not about becoming a warrior, but about mastering the battlefield within. You live in a world of constant psychological warfare. Every notification is an attack on your attention. Every headline is engineered to trigger fear or rage. Every single advertisement whispers that you are not enough. Your mind is under siege every single day, and you've been losing the battle because no one ever taught you how to fight. But what if I told you the warrior monk method isn't about fighting external enemies? It's about recognizing that the true enemy has always been internal. Your anxiety isn't caused by the world. Your stress isn't caused by your circumstances. Your suffering isn't caused by other people. It's caused by the relationship you have with your own mind. Here's the method they used. First, they cultivated awareness, not just passively noticing things, but the active, disciplined awareness of observing your own mental patterns without judgment. Every time a thought of worry arose, they would notice it. Every time anger sparked, they would observe it. Every time a desire pulled them, they would see it clearly. But here's the key: they didn't suppress these thoughts. They didn't fight them or try to replace them with positive thinking. They simply watched them arise, exist, and then dissolve. Because when you truly observe a thought without engaging with it, without feeding it your attention, it loses its power over you. Second, they practiced deliberate discomfort. They would sit in freezing cold. They would fast for days. They would hold painful positions until their bodies trembled. Not because they enjoyed suffering, but because they understood that comfort is the enemy of growth. Every time you avoid discomfort, you strengthen your mind's belief that you can't handle it. Every time you reach for a distraction when boredom arises, you train your mind to be weak. The warrior monks did the opposite. They deliberately placed themselves in uncomfortable situations so that when real hardship came, when real pain arrived, their minds wouldn't panic. They would remain unshakable. Third, they embraced impermanence. This is perhaps the darkest and most powerful part of the teaching. The warrior monk meditated on death every single day. Not morbidly, not with fear, but with a clear recognition of reality. Everything you love will eventually be taken from you. Everyone you know will die. Your body will decay. Your achievements will be forgotten. Your legacy will crumble to dust. And once you truly accept this, once you stop running from this truth, something profound happens. You become free. Free from the desperate clinging that creates so much suffering. Free from the anxiety of losing what you never truly owned in the first place. The warrior monk was unshakable because he had already accepted the worst possible outcome. Death held no power over him because he had made peace with it long ago. But here's what you need to understand. This isn't just philosophy for philosophers. This is practical psychology for survival in the modern world. You don't need to be a monk. You don't need to live in a monastery. You can apply these principles right now, today, in your actual life. When stress comes, instead of reacting immediately, just pause. Observe the sensation in your body. Watch the thoughts that arise. Breathe deeply into the discomfort. This is the beginning of an unshakable mind in action. When someone tries to provoke you, instead of defending your ego, become like water. Let their words pass through you without resistance, without attachment. Start small. Sit in silence for 5 minutes every morning. No phone, no music, no distractions. Just you and your mind. Watch what happens. Watch how desperately your mind tries to escape. Watch how it conjures tasks that suddenly feel urgent. Watch how it creates anxiety about wasting time. And don't move. Just breathe. Just observe. This is the beginning of the warrior monk method. This is how you start building an unshakable mind. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more content on strengthening your mind. Throughout your day, practice micro discomforts. Take a cold shower. Skip a meal. Sit with boredom instead of reaching for your phone. Have that difficult conversation you've been avoiding. These small acts of voluntary discomfort are training. They're preparing your nervous system to handle real stress without collapsing. They're teaching your mind that discomfort is not danger. And slowly, day by day, you'll notice something changing. The things that used to shake you no longer have the same power. The chaos around you continues, but you remain centered. You become the eye of the hurricane. The warrior monks had a saying, Ichigo Ichi, one time, one meeting. Every moment is unique and will never occur again. This person you're talking to right now, you may never speak to them again. This breath you're taking, it will never return. This present moment, once it passes, is gone forever. When you truly understand this, when you feel it in your bones, you stop living in the past or the future. You stop replaying old wounds or rehearsing future anxieties. You become fully present, and presence is power. Presence is where the unshakable mind lives. Now, I want you to pause for a moment and ask yourself this question. What would your life look like if nothing could shake you? If loss came and you remained centered? If failure arrived and you stayed calm? If chaos erupted and you stood still? Comment below and tell me the one thing in your life right now that is shaking you, the one thing that is stealing your peace. Because recognizing it is the first step. Naming it is how you begin to take back your power. The truth is, you already have an unshakable core. It's always been there. The warrior monks didn't create something new. They simply removed everything that was covering it up. All the conditioning, all the false beliefs, all the stories about who you're supposed to be. Beneath all of that noise is a mind that is naturally calm, naturally powerful, naturally unshakable. Your work isn't to become something you're not. Your work is to strip away everything that isn't truly you. This is the path walked by warriors who faced death with open eyes. This is the method practiced by monks who sat through the dark night of the soul and emerged transformed. This is not easy. It was never meant to be easy. Easy creates weakness. Difficulty creates warriors. And you re-here because something inside you knows you re-meant for more than a life of constant reaction, constant anxiety, constant weakness. You are meant to be unshakable. But here's the final truth they discovered, the one that changes everything. Being unshakable doesn't mean being hard. It doesn't mean building walls around your heart. It means being so rooted in your center that you can afford to be vulnerable. It means being so confident in your foundation that you can bend without breaking. The bamboo survives the storm not because it's rigid, but because it's flexible. The warrior monk was unshakable, not because he couldn't be moved, but because he could return to center no matter how far he was pushed. If you're ready to continue this journey, if you're ready to unlock more of these forbidden psychological methods that warriors use to master their minds, then subscribe now. Because what you just learned is only the surface. There are deeper chambers in this archive, darker truths about the human mind, and more powerful techniques that were kept hidden for centuries. And I will reveal them to you, one by one, if you are willing to walk this path. Hit that subscribe button and step into the warrior monk method. Your unshakable mind is waiting.